calmly. Gans, great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say again, because I never were, and...
What an historic day of racing in the 2023 Tour of Flanders. On site here where Tadej Pogačar won right here behind me on the finish line. Solo move, 17 kilometers to go from the village of Quaremont. He did it, becoming the first Tour de France champion to win the Tour of Flanders since Eddy Merckx in 1975. Second was two-time Tour of Flanders winner Mathieu van der Poel, and winning the sprint behind was Mads Pedersen. But oh wait, there was also some Americans in the mix. Yes, Neilson Powless in his debut finished 5th for EF Education. In 9th place, another American, Movistar rider Matteo Jorgensen. What a day out. We're talking a day that saw moves and action already from the gun, because none other than Mathieu van der Poel, he's taking right towards the back of the peloton when he was caught out. And that was early on in the day, around about 260 kilometers still to race. He was off the main path for around 20 kilometers. Alpes and De Koenig had to put their men to work early on. Sylvain Dillier, also Soren Kragh Andersen working for Mathieu van der Poel. Those guys, well, they weren't around for the final for Mathieu van der Poel. Things did come back together, but it was a tense, hectic moment. And then we saw that escape go free. 8 men that included Canadian Hugo Hull. Up front, there was a massive, huge crash. I think it was right before that time of the third Quaremont. The crash took out past Tour of Flanders winner Peter Sagan, also Tim Wellens. We saw Wout van Aert go down in the crash as well. Perhaps that affected him in his ride today. There was a Bahrain rider that apparently caused that crash, and in fact the jury decided to DQ the rider because of the crash, and that happened during the race. But on the Molenberg climb, we saw UAE Team Emirates starting to set things up 100 kilometers out, but instead it was Casper Asgreen from Soudal Quickstep, a former winner here in the Tour of Flanders, who went ahead on the Molenberg climb, 100 kilometers to go. Back behind, Neilson Powless looking attentive in his first edition debut of this race, and that move went free. 9 riders that also would eventually include Matteo Jorgensen, who bridged up with Benoit Cosnefroy. 9 riders chasing that 8 up front. They would come together, and then we had a massive group up ahead, and another massive second of crash. And this time around, Benny Grenay, Get Well Again winner, was so bad off, had to be taken away to the hospital. Well, Tadej Pogačar lit things up on the Quaremont the first time around, but then it was on the second time. Again, UAE Team Emirates really lighting things up, going into that second climb up the old Quaremont, and that split things up for the race. And it was 29 kilometers to go on the Kreuzberg. Van der Poel lit it up. Van Aert didn't quite look magnificent. Pog was there with them. That move brought those players, the big 3-man, up to the escape that was with Powless and with Jorgensen and also with Mads Pedersen, who would eventually go solo. Picked the right moment to do so, but they later caught him back. And on the Quaremont, as soon as those cobbles began, we saw Tadej Pogačar light it up. And just as he probably was coming into this race, he knew he had to get away solo, and he knew he had to use the climbs. If he had a shot trying to beat these bigger guys, well, in the village of Quaremont, he was solo, and up at the top, he was going to make history. And eventually, over the Paterberg, he had enough time, around about 15 seconds, and on that top of the Paterberg, it was the final climb. And from there, it was a TT here to the finish in Oudenaarde. It was Pogačar versus Van der Poel, the 2 greats, and he held enough time to celebrate here on the finish line in Oudenaarde. Tour de France champion, 2-time Tour de France champion, winning Flanders, and they had a little meeting after the finish line with Van der Poel, and they were happy for each other. And what a day of racing in the Tour. Pogačar winner, Americans up there in the top 10, and a great day of racing in the 2023 Tour of Flanders. To celebrate here on the finish line, Tour de France champion, 2-time Tour de France champion, winning Flanders, and they had a little meeting after the finish line with Van der Poel, and they were happy for each other. And what a day of racing in the Tour of Flanders. Top 10, and a great day of racing in the 2023 Tour of Flanders.
Now, another group off the front, who likes the front, caught at the back, offering victorious, increasingly involved.
Excellent situation.
He's coming back 30 seconds from 45 seconds.
Up with
Crash. And on the right hand side, you've got a rider down there into a headwind. Oh, here we go. Unfortunately, with riders down. Matt, it took 2 hours 15 minutes for the breakaway to go today, and this is it. And look at that, just like that, 4 minutes 70. And Jumbo Visma alongside UAE is behind. Old Walter in Albert One. And a big crash behind. Just as we're about to hit the Quadamont, and this could have a huge effect on the race. Oh my word. Pogacar down. Alaphilippe involved. Lots of riders down, I'm afraid. But the Eckenberg going behind. The Holloway, and now it's the Wolfenberg time. And here, look at how steep this beast is. Over the Holloway, here it is Zansky. Connor Swift there. Who brings in a crash on the left-hand side. Oh, no, it's happening again.
It is this gradual ratcheting off the pace, and Pedersen goes in the centre.
Miles Pedersen over the top of Wolfenberg. He's going to be followed by what looks like Juniors.
This is an interesting little split. Pedersen continuing to drive this move clear. There's a group of about 12 trying to go across the gap.
In the chase, looks like they've already got Nata Verhoeven. There's even one part. There's several of the riders chasing. Pogacar is in there as well, and that sets up the alarm bells. Pog is pogoing away.
And then you have to start riding. Big acceleration here by Trentin. Cool on his wheel. Power straight into the slipstream as well.
The real party is about to start. Because after this, we'll back towards
That was awful. Christoph down as well. That is a nasty.
That's a shocker. And now we get the reaction. What seated power, seated attack. We wondered how he was. He's looking good, Mario. He's amazing.
He is looking good, but look at this. Tadej Pogacar has just ripped this race apart, flying up this climb. It's almost like he's riding on a motorbike. Look at the gap he's opened up at the runs behind. He glances round, we'll see daylight, we'll see the Bora Hansgrohe car, briefly into the slipstream of Axel Zongel. I've no doubt go straight past. Look at the might.
The big three, the top riders in the world, wheel to wheel, pedal stroke to pedal stroke. And this is the image we've been waiting for the last 365 days. And now Mathieu van der Poel decides to go. And that is his kind of acceleration. Wout van Aert's in trouble though. Wout van Aert is in trouble. Pogacar can power away. One man who's fighting though for his future is Wout van Aert, who's about to hit the cobbles. But as he does so, Tadej Pogacar repeats the feat. He's going again. He's landed a left jab. Is this to be the right hook?
What a devastating turn of speed by Tadej Pogacar. That is absolutely incredible.
At the front of the race, Mats Pedersen's been caught. Valiant effort. He needs to hang on now in the second half of this Quadamont, but I'm not sure he'll be able to do so, because flying past him is Tadej Pogacar. It's a long straight road to Aldenarde, and he starts to realise, he starts to allow himself a half of a wry smile. The realisation sets in. Aldenarde welcomes its latest hero. He's only gone and done it. Mexian magic from cycling's new all-round megastar. And at just the second time of asking, the two-time Tour de France winner becomes the King of Flanders. In Eddy Merckx's backyard, Tadej Pogacar arrives to inherit his crown. Tadej Pogacar wins the fastest ever Tour of Flanders. The best rider in the world wins the best race in the world. And a man to contribute to the legend. He gave everything. He's never been worse off than fourth. The record will come, I think, for Mathieu van der Poel. Just not today. There goes Mats Pedersen on the left-hand side, the former world champion, on his wheel and ready to come off it if there's anything left. Is Wout van Aert, but Pedersen's strong. He's holding on. Van Aert is there, but he's only in the slipstream. Now he'll try to come around with 50 metres to the line. Mats Pedersen's there. Here comes Wout van Aert, but it's Mats Pedersen. It's Mats Pedersen who hangs on. And we're denied the perfect podium, riding through the field of dreams in Flanders.
welcome back to the GCN Racing News Show. Coming up this week, how Mathieu van der Poel won Milano-San Remo. I'll be over on the touchscreen analysing where he got it right and others got it wrong. I'll also be looking back at a bunch of one-day races in Belgium, France and Italy, as well as letting you know about the huge amount of racing you can look forward to watching this week.